Alright guys, in today's video I'm going to be reviewing and going over a Reddit post I saw from about a day ago. The reason why I'm making a video on this is because I feel like a lot of you guys watching this can relate to this, especially for those of you guys who've been playing this game for a while, because as you guys can see here from the caption, I quit. A 7-year veteran's opinion on how to fix Clash Royale in its entirety, and basically in this post he explains why he quit the game, what he thinks should be changed, what he thinks should be added, what he thinks should be removed, all of that stuff. So with that being said, let's get into it. It's a pretty long post, but I feel like it's a pretty interesting one. So first of all, he says, if anyone's wondering about the validity of this post, he says he's a 7-year veteran of this game, and this game's been out for 7 years, so he's basically been playing from the start. He's recently decided to stop playing because of the constant barrage of issues the game is facing. I have about 6,800 trophies, all cards unlocked, and they're all at least at a level 11. With that being said, though, he's never spent any money on the game or ever bought the pass. Secondly, speaking for the community, please don't direct any hate towards any of the community managers in the Clash Royale Supercell team. They're not the one making the choices or the decisions. They're just there to deliver the news, don't shoot the messenger. And yeah, I agree with him there. You know, that goes for you guys too. Try not to be overly, rude towards them. I mean, you can criticize, like constructive criticism, but try to be respectful. And now with that out of the way, I'd like to give my thoughts on how to fix the game, and he gave 4 different approaches. So yeah, that's why I decided to make this video. I thought it would be interesting because not only is he bashing the game, he's also talking about the stuff that's good, things that should just overall be removed, changed, revised, and a lot of them are really good ideas, which you guys will see. Some of them I actually were stuff I'd never thought of or considered, but it's really interesting to consider things from the casual perspective. So I feel like a lot of you guys watching this can really relate to this guy because this guy's a casual player. He's the typical free-to-play player. So, he's never spent any money and he's just a casual player, which is what most people in the game are, which is why so many people resonated with this post. So things to keep. Magic items and wildcards. Magic items and wildcards are one of the last signs of an upwards trending update in CR's history. I'm sure a lot of you guys can agree with that. They're a great idea and they made progression a whole lot easier. And the best part is they weren't necessarily trapped behind a paywall. You can get plenty without ever touching your wallet. It'd be nice if they made more chances to get the really good ones, specifically towards more wildcards available in chests, magic coins, and legendary books. But otherwise, they're perfectly fine in my eyes. And I completely agree there. That was a very successful update when they added the magic items as well as the wildcards. Trophy Road, the league split. When I first saw the Trophy Road and leagues were splitting from each other, I was pretty skeptical. It just seemed like another useless change that would ruin the progression of the game. However, I'm happy to confirm that it was the better updates in recent history. The old way of how Trophy Road works seems so inferior considering how often your hard work and trophies are set that you even had to get back to the league. You had to climb up an immense amount of trophies, and that was occasionally even lengthened with more arenas and trophies to climb. Having one game mode where you can have the final end go, where you literally cannot go higher, is a nice but challenging goal to look forward to. And then having a few additional game modes where you can really hone in on your strategy and skills as you play as many games as possible to get the most amount of rewards possible before it resets is even better. A great choice to split Trophy Road by the devs. I agree with that as well. I think adding that Trophy Road, right, that thing that caps at 9,000 trophies, I think that was a good addition to the game. I think it's very good, especially for casual players, which this guy is writing the post. I'm sure a lot of you guys as well kind of have that goal of getting 9,000 trophies, and there's not a race to get there because it doesn't reset. So I think that's pretty cool that that's always in the game, and just another game mode. Even if you prefer to play Path of Legends, even for the more competitive players, I know that they do like the Trophy Road to sometimes play that and get to 9,000 trophies. Champions, I don't need to say much about champions. It's just nice to have a new type of card playable after so many years of legendaries being on top. They're unique, rare, but not too rare, and are overall a great addition to the game. They're pretty well balanced too, which is a nice change of pace from evolutions. My only complaint is how far the game you unlock them. I think you should be able to use them earlier on, but otherwise, sure, they're great. So yeah, I kind of agree with him there as well. I mean, obviously, for free-to-play players, they're not the most ideal because obviously you can't get them right away, and you're not going to get them a whole lot if you don't spend money, but at least you still do have access to them, and at least in grand challenges and global tournaments, you can still use them, even if you don't have them unlocked, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, with that being said, that's all the good stuff. Now we're getting into the, the inevitable things to remove. So as I'm sure a lot of you guys expect to see on here, level 15 and the elite wildcards. I don't think this is a very hot take, so I'll keep my opinion on level 15 short and brief. Speaking for the community here, no one wants longer progression. It's already hard enough getting to max king level and player level max cards in the end of Trophy Road. We don't need another level to slow progression even more. And elite wildcards, what a joke, such a bland, stupid concept. Never mind the fact that they're pretty stuck They're pretty much stuck behind a paywall, and they're being secretly updated by the devs, making them appear less and less, making it even harder to progress once again. Supercell, please get rid of level 15, like really soon. Unfortunately, I don't think they're going to get rid of it, but I really hope, fingers crossed, that they lower the rates, right? Evolutions. Now, this might be an actual hot take, and this is kind of a hot take because a lot of people and some content creators too are saying evolutions are good for the game, but with them being out now for a few weeks, I'm kind of starting to change my mind on them a little bit too, I got to admit. Evolutions are not badly executed, are not just badly executed, but also bad idea in general. Now, this is where I kind of disagree a little bit. I think they're not a bad idea, but they 100% were badly executed. So I agree with half of that. I think they were horribly executed, but maybe there's still a somewhat decent idea, might have potential. But let's keep reading and see what he said. Clash Royale is a strategy game, so tell me, what is strategic about severely overpowered cards that are stuck behind some stupid shard system, which itself is supposed to be a paywall? Yeah, nothing. Evolutions are just the funny Clash mods people used to upload on YouTube, show off ideas for way too overpowered cards. And funny enough, the Mortar Evolution was actually an April Fool's joke when Molt and Nick at Night were playing together. They had that as an April Fool's prank, and that was all the way back in 2016, 2017, and it ended up getting added to the game, something we thought was like really broken, thought would never be added. So it kind of goes to show how much of a joke, you know, of how overpowered they are right now, and he was comparing them to like a mod. And speaking of which, they completely ruined the meta. Anyone with brain would use Evolve Firecracker if they had the chance to, and that's basically all you see. And you know, that top ladder speaks for itself, where you have like 80 of the decks in the top 200 running the Evolve Firecracker. So yeah, that's the part that I agree with him on. They're just completely broken, and it does take away the strategy. But he's saying even if they were more balanced, they still wouldn't be a good idea. And the thing is, though, is I don't know if they ever will be completely balanced. So I mean, if that's the case, then I actually fully agree with him that evolutions were kind of a fail all in all, especially because they're just kind of a big cash grab anyway. And yeah, he's just kind of talking about that more, how it's not even more cards, it's just kind of an addition to the current card. At least champions are, you know, unique. And then the Diamond Pass, yeah, this is like really short. Dumb concept for the greedy devs to make more money. Not even Fortnite, one of the main, you know, big popular games, doesn't even have 2 battle passes, and just how the greedy the devs are, not to mention how you get away, not to mention how much you get away from it. It's literally pay to win. Just having one type of season pass would balance the game a whole lot more, and people still buy it anyways, so the greedy devs get their money, win-win. Yeah, I agree. I don't know why they added a diamond pass. It's literally, you can't argue anything other than they wanted to make more money. I think that's just obvious to everyone. I think they said things like, oh, it's better value, but obviously it's not. It's the diamond pass is like the value that the pass used to be for just more of the price, basically. Or it's like even worse value. So that was kind of just a big cash grab. Arenas, let me explain something. I'm not saying get rid of arenas in Trophy Road. Heck no. What I'm saying is there are far too many arenas in the Trophy Road game mode, and it makes progression chaos. Now, this one, I don't know how much I agree or disagree with. You guys will have to let me know in the comments, because since I'm not a casual player, I don't know how much I necessarily care about this or know if it's good or bad. But he's saying there's no spirit either. Back 2-3 years ago, arenas felt like the game's approach at world building. Their order made sense. They had themes, which is the card they contain. They contribute to the overall image of the game. Felt like you're actually going through a developed world. Fast forward to present day, now the arenas that are literally just mild reskins of other arenas. So he's saying like there's not much creativity, or they're just not as like special as they used to be. And the order also doesn't make sense. It's like literally just pancakes, not to mention their cards don't match the themes. I would suggest just like 3/4 the amount of arenas, replacing, so kind of just like taking a few of them away. I could kind of, I mean, I'm cool with that. It could go either way, and no need to make it, oh, he's saying, oh, he didn't like the increase. I'm realizing this now. He didn't like the increase to 9,000. I disagree with him there. I think of everything he's written, I disagree with that. I think the increase to 9,000 was a good thing. I don't know about you guys, but I think that motivated people to grind more, and people who got 7,500 to keep going. And I don't think it affects anyone, even people who haven't reached 7,500. I think they'll eventually be able to get to 9K, and it gives them something to work for. So I actually entirely disagree with that. That's the main thing I disagree on of the whole thing. But let's see what he said, things to change and revise. So he's saying matchmaking, biggest issue in the game. It's really unfair. He doesn't have a single fully maxed deck as a casual player, and he's like free to play also. I think it is possible, but it takes a lot more time and effort as a free to play player, a lot of years to fully max a deck, especially now with level 15. I would actually say it's pretty much impossible now that there's level 15. I kind of changed my mind a little bit. So he's saying how he always has to play against a higher level king level than me just because we're at the same amount of trophies. Isn't that awesome? He doesn't mind losing against a player with better tactics, but the fact that they have higher level cards. He's saying, though, so his idea to fix this is basically saying have matchmaking being on two things: average card level in your deck and the king level and the tower level, and strictly regulated. I want the chance of playing someone with a I want the chance of playing someone with a different king level a rare occurrence. I get why matchmaking is this way. Devs want you to be able to queue really fast without waiting more than a couple seconds. And that's why you guys see in the lower arenas there's bots. They even add bots in the game because they know there's not a lot of players down there, like new players, to speed up how you find a match. And I was actually thinking of doing a video soon proving that there's still bots in 2023 in this game. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. So yeah, I do know they purposely do care about that and try to rig it so you match people quicker. That is very true. And I wouldn't mind that. I think most people wouldn't mind waiting a second or two more. And I do think that's an easy fix. So I think that's something to consider. But of course, I don't think they're going to do that because that would mean the game is less pay to win. And obviously, they want the game to be pay to win. So it's kind of unfortunate. Oh, yeah, Clan Wars. Yeah, Clan Wars are pretty boring. So I entirely agree with this section he posted here. Like, I mean, it has fun concepts and game modes, but what does it get you if you win? Like, there's hardly any rewards, right? He's saying, like, it loses so much value when you're in higher arenas. I like the whole boat race idea, but if I had to change something, I would probably just make the rewards higher. Maybe Evolution Charge or something, more rewards throughout the race, and then like a simpler UI, and then I consider participating again. Yeah, it's just like pretty boring. I feel like there's like no point in playing it, so kind of a quick, easy agree there with him. Event tab, I don't know this one, how much I really care about. He's saying though, this purple event token things, what is that? Is he talking about the season tokens? Saying we don't need another currency. Or is he talking about the Dark Elixir? I don't know what he's referring to, but he's saying the event tab was easier to look at, like the UI of it, and there wasn't like a million challenges going on at once, meaning, you know, less things you have to focus on and enjoyment about the ones you do play. Okay, yeah, I agree. I think it is a little bit of a mess, the change to the events. Either that or it just takes some getting used to. I don't know that one. You guys are going to have to let me know how you feel about. Mastery, I like the idea of the Mastery. It's a better form of evolutions, in my opinion. You can upgrade a card without it having an effect on the gameplay, but you still have to show it off in your banners and stuff. However, I think some of the rewards are a little bit lacking considering how much time and effort it takes to max out these cards, so I'd recommend just adding more or better rewards for each Mastery or level. Or oppositely, make it easier for you to master your cards to get these rewards faster. Well, I mean, it sucks because they kind of recently did the opposite of that. They removed the gem reward from the later tiers in the mastery, so they should add that back and then add more rewards, or yeah, reduce the requirements. Party mode, I think the party mode menu is already pretty good. It's fairly hard to get to and sort of overlooked, which makes me a little upset. Party mode is one of the most fun parts of the game. It has always been fun and interesting. Game modes bring back the big blue party button and add even more unique game mode devs. Everyone would be happy. I agree with him. It was hard. I was looking for 2v2 the other day, and it took forever to find. It's not easy to access, so I actually agree with that. That would be a good quality of life change. Things to add more rewards. One of the biggest issues is progression, and the easiest way of fixing this is simply add more gold, gems, and wildcards around the community and game. There are endless possibilities to do this: more challenges, daily tasks, more gold and gems, better chances of earning rewards, etc. Just make it easier to get gold so I don't have to spend half a year upgrading one legendary card from 13 to 14, and he didn't even mention 15. But yeah, I mean, you would think that if they're increasing the requirements, right, and now adding level 15, making all this money off of it, you'd think that at least they'd add more rewards to the game, right? So hopefully they do that soon to compensate. We can only hope. And this was the one, I think, out of all of them, that this was a brilliant idea, and I didn't even think about this, because I feel like we really overlooked kind of quests, because they're not really a big thing in the game. I think they have way more potential, right? They could be so much more than they are in CR right now. He's saying like daily, weekly, and monthly quests. So not just daily, they could add in weekly and monthly ones that are more long-term to motivate people to keep grinding. And then they're adding a little button on the main screen so you're busy trying to do something. They always have, you know, rewards too. Worthwhile to queue a game just to complete a quest. Another way of doing the type of quest could be achievements, which you could have your own extensive menu. Yeah, more achievements, maybe stuff you could put on your profile. You give as simple as pricing your first troop, or tough as 3 crowning 5 trophy road opponents in a row, and the rewards could differ based on the difficulty of the completion. They could also offer little stickers too, unique to each achievement, and they can be placed on your banner to brag about completing a certain challenge. Yeah, I think that's definitely something to consider, especially the weekly and monthly quests. I mean, I think that would be a banger idea. Hopefully they do consider something like that. rematching. So basically, this guy's talking about if you match someone on Trophy Road or Leagues and you want to go to your battle log and basically send them a rematch, just having that as an option. It's not something you could do very, very often. He's saying something you could maybe choose to do like every few matches or something like that, like every, you know, maybe 10 minutes after the initial game, like shortly after. And if your opponent doesn't want to, they don't have to. But just adding it as an option, I actually think this isn't a bad idea either, considering this is a strategy game and people want to practice matchups. This would be another way added for them to do that. If they don't have someone to play a specific matchup with in their clan or something, then maybe they're able to, if their opponent's available and wants to rematch it, they could. I think that's not a horrible idea. And then lastly, we have more cards, more cards. So it's the only interesting part of the game as present day. It's the only thing you usually never mess up, and players usually love more cards added to the game, as it means new strategies, new metas, and overall more fun. You just added a whole new variant of cards to champions, so why not keep expanding on them? Sorry I went a bit overboard there, but you get the idea. Cards are what make Clash Royale, well, Clash Royale, so why not keep adding them? They focus on the quality they have been previously delivering with the cards they have been adding and focus most of their staff on making more of them. I guarantee people are having a lot more fun with the game. And yeah, this is what I've seen like Molt and other like casual, you know, players in this game say too, like Molt the big YouTuber and other people too. I see like new cards generate the most hype, and this guy said too, the last card we got was more than, yeah, half a year ago. Wasn't that the Monk and the Phoenix? That was so long ago. And here's the thing, guys, the evolutions are not new cards. It's literally like less unique than the champions, because the champions, they have an ability, right? And they're a whole new card. The evolutions, they're not at all a new card. They're just adding an ability to a card that's already a thing. So overall, guys, I think this post had some really good stuff in it. Huge shout out to this guy for writing it up. You know, as I said, 7-year player, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watching can relate. You've been playing for years, or maybe you guys have already quit, but you started playing this game like 6-7 years ago, and now you don't play anymore, and you're just following the drama. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about all this.